At a time when our planet and humanity is being deeply challenged, having a sense of community and support is imperative. But together we can and will individually raise our consciousness, which will lead to communally raising it, and ultimately raise the consciousness of this planet. So tonight, please bring your feelings in the comments.
Hi, so welcome to Bring Your Feelings, a space where together we can express, connect, support each other at a time when our planet and humanity is being deeply challenged. So tonight we're going to invite you to please share how you are feeling and how we can support you in the comments. My name is Maryam. I'm a psychic medium and a teacher of spirituality. And please meet Meg Harrell, a nurse and travel lifestyle creator with a passion for helping others, storytelling. She inspires her community of over 1 million to embrace resilience, joy, and adventure in every day. And hopefully next week we will be having Seth join us also. Links to all our socials are below in the description. So please share with us in the comments 2 words describing how you're feeling tonight. Meg, how are you?
I'm okay. Just that.
Let's just leave it at that?
Yes.
Okay, we won't push. We'll leave it at that for now. Maybe Meg needs to put how she feels in the comments.
Yeah.
Questions. So I was thinking tonight, let's start with a 60-second meditation. So for anyone who's never meditated before, I'm literally going to set my clock for 60 seconds. And we're going to see how we do. Hopefully, if you've never meditated before, you will feel the difference in just 60 seconds. Keep in mind, your mind is going to wander a lot, and that is 100% normal. Okay. If your body wants to fidget, let it fidget. Just let your body and your mind do what it's going to do. All right. So here we go. 60 seconds. Take 3 releasing
Close our
breaths.
eyes.
Yes. So close your eyes wherever you're at, unless you're driving. And 3 releasing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, blow it out. So just take a moment and allow the body to be still. If you're just joining us, we're just starting a 60-second meditation, so feel free to jump in. So allowing the shoulders to relax, noticing if the belly is squeezed tight, and maybe just relax through the belly for a moment. Wiggle the fingers and the toes to make sure they're not clenched. Let the arms feel heavy, let the legs feel weighted. Notice if your forehead is relaxed or maybe a little tight. Go ahead and release that. The jaw can relax. The eyes, notice if they're gently closed or squeezed tight. Then I want you to put your right hand over your belly button and begin to notice the movement of the belly with the breath. Noticing the belly move on the inhale and how the belly naturally pulls in on the exhale. Again, how the belly moves with the inhale and releases on the exhale. Notice if you can gently slow the breath down, gently deepen the breath, and allow the mind to do what it's going to do. Do your best to not engage. And then I want you to take the hands, keeping the eyes closed, rub the palms of the hands together. And place the palms over the eyes. And then gently open the eyes into the darkness of the palms. And then slowly pull the hands away. Relax the hands into the lap. And with the eyes open, just become comfortable with the space and the surroundings for a moment. You guys want to get a good little laugh? Instead of 59 seconds, I did 59 minutes. So I definitely had to guess on how long that was. I don't know.
That felt like a minute, right?
Let's just say it was.
Okay.
It's better than 59 minutes. Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine? I would have just gotten lost and been like, well, that's fine. And then it's like 11 o'clock. And they were like, it was just meditation. That's all we needed.
That's all we needed.
Yeah.
So let's talk.
I'm going to see my, it says that I'm live on Instagram, but it doesn't show it when I look at my phone.
So there is a delay.
Like it doesn't say I'm live at all.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to go on your Instagram and I'll check.
That you're live.
Let me see. Oh yeah, it doesn't look like
it shows your. So I'm gonna remove it, and then I'm gonna
start over.
Yeah.
So while we're waiting for that to take place, if you're on Instagram, you'll want to come over to YouTube so you can leave a comment if you'd like to, because we can't always see the comments on Instagram through what we can flip back and forth. So let's do 2 words tonight. That was Meg's idea, which I really love, on how we're feeling. And I'll start, since it's kind of quiet in the comments. I'm feeling hopeful and balanced tonight. And I really want to lean into that, because that doesn't always, that's not always a thing, right?
Yeah, that sounds beautiful.
I think that some days, for me, even if I do the best meditation in the world, it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to feel good after. Sometimes I just feel balanced. Sometimes it's just an emotional calming that happens in the meditation. And so you can't always expect to walk away feeling great. You just feel like I can get through the day. And then some days are good. Some days you have a good meditation, and it's some days just things roll nicely for you. And yeah, so I'm having just kind of one of those days. Meg, how are you feeling? You're connecting your Instagram. I won't ask you yet.
Yeah, well, I think it connected. I'm not sure. We'll see. I know there's a delay, but we'll see.
I'll check it.
Yeah, check it for me. If you see my account live. But if I were to pick 2 words for today, I think it would be I feel very frustrated and just drowning. It's just
frustrated and drowning. Those are big words. You want to expand a little bit more on that?
Yeah, I think it's one thing after the other where I'm oh no, that needs fixing or changing and I can't do it. Oh no, another thing needs fixing and I can't change that. And it gets really...
You can't change it because it's out of your control, or?
Yes. Yes. Or it's something that is in my control that it's going to take a lot of time.
You can't, it's not a quick fix.
Yes.
I do see that you are live on Instagram.
Perfect.
It says Meg For It is live.
It worked.
So what are the tools that we have that we go to? And I'm not saying tools to stop frustration, change, because frustration is energy to propel us forward when we use frustration correctly. But what are the tools that you have when you're feeling, you said underwater, and what was the other one?
Yeah, drowning and frustrated.
Drowning and frustrated. So what do you have tools, or are you at a point where like, I don't know?
I think my usual tools are fall under the umbrella of self-care, like get rest, eat something that is nourishing to my body. And then like screaming in my car is great.
I hear you say that. You've said that a couple times actually on your social media.
Right? Because I feel like I'm never alone, like even just trying to do this live now, my daughter's coming in and out of her room. Like there's no, like never alone. Very rarely. And then if I ever am alone, like I drop them off at school, I'm like, I have to work every second that I'm not with them. So when I sometimes have like a moment where I'm in my own thoughts again, and I'm like, oh yeah, remember this and this and this and this. And I was like,
Does, have you ever, hold on, let me see. So this is an interesting card that came up for while you were talking. So what does authentic truth feel like for you?
Authentic truth is, oh, that's so interesting. Like not self-silencing or acknowledging what's really happening.
So, so you are or are not doing that?
I think to cope and keep going, I think it's a little bit easier for me to just like distract myself and to keep going.
All right, is that what you've been doing?
I think this week, I think it's kind of been like ebbs and flows. So this week it's been, you can't break down right now. You need to keep going.
Oh, ooh. So you sort of see where it starts, right? It's at whenever that point in time was where you were like, I can't break down right now. So I can't feel, you start to drown, literally drown in your feelings.
Yeah.
Right. So I laugh because this is where I'm not the spiritual coach most people like to hear from. But in those situations, your only option is to keep drowning or require yourself to find that alone time. I don't have children, but I used to manage for many, many years. I was a manager. So you have children that you're managing all day, right? I mean, they're adults, but sometimes they're adults, sometimes they're not. And your office is just a rotating door, right? So I had to retrain that when I was closing my office door to do a 60-second meditation because I wasn't able to function because I felt like I was drowning, that was non-negotiable. Like, don't ask me what I'm doing it. And if I didn't have my office to do it, I would go into the bathroom and I'd sit in the stall and I'd put in my earbuds and I'd do 60 seconds or whatever I had time for. And I say that because that can be similar to with family and jobs and work and everything. And if the car is your only place where you can be alone, if your car is the only place where no one will bother you, then we're at a time in our lives where we are required to pull from that toolbox and get into that meditation. And during that meditation, you might scream in your car the whole time. You might cry the whole time. You might be angry the whole time. And it doesn't mean the meditation didn't work. It means the meditation worked exactly the way it was supposed to, because how do you feel after you scream in your car? A lot better.
Like lighter. I feel lighter.
Mm-hmm. Screaming, anger, it's fuel, right? Fuel. And when we start to look at all of these emotions as fuel, and the last thing we want to do is sit in a meditation because we're so busy feeling, we're not removing the feelings, we're getting into them and saying, how can I pull them up and out to get to the solution?
Hmm. Joanne has a contribution.
Anxious and lonely. Hi, Joanne, by the way. Nice to see your face. You want to tell us a little bit more about that? And that's why we're here, because anxious and lonely is a very, very relatable and common feeling. And I can promise you that I have felt that and feel that. So tell us a little bit more about that. I'm going to give Meg one last card. Can you read it? I think it's backwards. Nothing has gone wrong.
Are you sure? Because
that we can circle back to Meg. What's funny is I haven't brought my cards the last few times. I had no intention of it. Yeah. And then tonight something kept nudging me to bring my cards. So I'm glad I did. So let's talk more about anxious and lonely. This is why we're here, so that we don't to try to help those that are feeling anxious and lonely, to help you feel like you're not alone, for starters.
Yeah.
I'm the oldest, and I think I have to solve all, and I wink, wink, no, I can't. But my squirrel says, oh, yes, you need to fix everything. I totally followed that.
I know. I read that, and I was like, that makes perfect sense to me. It's definitely a firstborn daughter, ADHD. I love the way that her brain works, and she feels like she's like the healer, has to fix everything. Yeah.
Meg, are you firstborn?
Yeah.
Oh, so go for it. This is all you.
So there's a really interesting statistic that is not talked about, but I can guarantee it. It's over 80% of nurses that are at least becoming nurses in this generation in the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years, are firstborn daughters who have some sort of neurodivergent thing happening, ADHD, some dyslexia, and they're typically the healers of the family. I'll plan the vacation. I'm the type A. Everybody, fall in suit, the leaders of the family. And it's not always the oldest of the family, but it's the oldest female. And it's really interesting how they all become healers.
Interesting.
Every day. Do you rearrange it all the time? Because that's supposed to be like a really good coping mechanism, where you're like moving the energy in your space.
Yeah, that's a good question. I want to know why you're changing your house furniture all the time. Now, Meg, I know it's a loaded question, but yes. Is this behavior nature or nurture? Is it solely because you are firstborn and that throws you into that, and female, that throws you into that positioning?
It may also be time-wise in society, what's happening collectively with women over the last, let's say 10 to 20 years, and then it trickles down to the next generation, why we're so hyper independent. Mm-hmm. Like if you hang out with a group of nurses, I can tell you who's the firstborn daughter. I can tell if somebody's a nurse. In like a group of people, we all gravitate towards each other just naturally. There's something that has made women hyper independent in a fantastic way and a not so fantastic way, where we become anxious and lonely, like Joanne is, because I'm good. I can do everything on my own. Asking for help is a weakness, and being that super hyper independent leader, I got everything, makes for a great nurse, because you're just doing everything and everybody's just taking care, and you just deplete all of your resources mentally and physically and spiritually. And it's great for the hospital, great for the patients. It's not great for you as a person when you continue to do that every single day, every single week. So I think it may be something societal and also collectively happening with women, where we need to build our tribes again. We're too isolated.
Well, I think it was the first week we talked, and you said some really interesting things about women and how, I don't want to misquote you, but just why are we supposed to be able to do it all? And like, why is that glorified? Like you doing everything and not having help. The saying it takes a village to raise a child is not a joke. It's real. So if we have more than one child, and you have a job, where is that? Why is that expectation coming in of we can do it all? And I think you had said maybe, or I'm paraphrasing, like that society is sort of overcorrected, right? So women are finding their place in the world, and we've kind of overcorrected it to feel like we can't have help within that place in the world.
Yes, and help can come from everywhere. I feel like there is this great sense of I don't need a man, which is amazing because it really trapped women in very bad situations. And now that we don't need that, we really need each other. Like you cannot do it on our own. The next time somebody is like, oh my God, you're superwoman. I'm done. I don't want to be strong. I don't want to be superwoman anymore. That is not a trophy that I want to carry around and flaunt. It's awful.
I love that perception of it so much. Because I don't have children, that's never been a problem for me. But I watch my sisters and I see how much having my mom there to help them is imperative. And I've always watched that and thought, how do other women do it? How do you do it? And I think you just said it, where it's like you have to be superwoman, and that's no longer a badge of honor.
No, it's definitely not. Oh my gosh, I just read this article in Time Magazine about a Harvard study that talked about, oh, what was the word? It was so good. Self-silencing.
Ooh, what's that about?
Women who are self-silencing, and how it has turned into, they can absolutely connect it to autoimmune disorders and PTSD in women, because women have, the study started at Harvard in 1980, and how that self-silencing of our own needs or our own wants or our own desires, or even just like a desire, a dream, literally turns into disease inside of your body. Wow. And they have proven it. It was in Time Magazine under the psychology section.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like self-silencing is killing women.
Incredible. It's nice to hear that it's being acknowledged, that it's being addressed. It's sad that is a real thing that's happening, but it changes things when you can. It's like, for me, when you can read an article about menopause that relates to you, it's like, oh, okay, I'm not alone here. Yes. I haven't been crazy this whole time. Joanne, what do you do when you're feeling these feelings, when you're feeling anxious or lonely? What is it that you do besides rearrange your furniture that helps you with that? Oh, look at channeling.
Ooh.
So what that tells us is needing to channel that energy into something. I'm not saying, I feel like I need to keep stressing this, because I'm not saying don't feel your feelings, because that's not what we're talking about here. We're saying the opposite. We're saying feel your feelings, and then what, right? And sometimes we just need to feel our feeling. We just need to be in our feelings, and that's what 100. Like, either way, you always have to find a moment to just be in that feeling. Either way, you have to. We have to do that. And then once we do that, then what? Right? Because if there isn't a then what, then it starts to build, or it turns into depression or fear or feeling underwater or feeling all of that, right?
Mm-hmm. Just breathe.
Can't argue that.
I love that. Yeah. Just stop and breathe. That is such a sympathetic response in our brains. Like when we're super anxious, or we trigger that, like the adrenal glands to release cortisol and all the stress hormones. Like if we need to run or have a panic attack, you automatically start shallow breathing.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And then when you start to do that deep breathing, you start to slow your heart rate, and then it in turn sends the signal back to your adrenal glands, back to your sympathetic nervous system, like, we're not in danger, stop releasing all of that norepinephrine and stress hormones, like, we're fine. And it literally just takes breathing deep and getting your heart rate to go nice and low, and that's it.
Did you, with adding on to that, when you just in our 60-second meditation or however long that was, did you notice just doing those 3 releasing breaths, there's already like just taking 3 deep breaths, breathing in and blowing it out, just right there can actually, I have felt that it just shifts me just doing that right there, right?
For me, it like brings me into the room.
Yeah.
Where maybe my mind is like going in a million directions. So doing that breath, 3 of them, I'm like, okay, I'm here.
And it always comes back to this, but when you're present, that's when you realize in that present moment, the fear isn't living there. The fear lives in the past and the future. But in the present, the fear isn't. I mean, I'm talking on a regular day, not in a moment where there should be fear. But when you're present, literally, physically, like consciously bringing yourself into this moment right here. Okay, right here in this moment. So, like, let's start with you, Meg. You were talking about feeling underwater, right?
Yeah.
When you bring yourself into this moment, in this moment, are you underwater? Your kids are fine. They're safe. They're behind you. They're doing their homework, doing what they're supposed to be doing. You finish teaching. Everything else is past or future. So if in this moment you're present, the moment actually is fine. Literally fine.
Yeah.
But the moment we step out of it and we move into the future or the past, we're not fine.
Yeah.
Because the future and the past is, we all know what those things are. PTSD or fear of what if.
Yeah, that's really interesting. For me, I think when and this goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning, when I get back to that present moment, I'm like reminded of the things that I'm so frustrated with. Like even just coming back to this space, I'm like, I don't want to be in this apartment. Like I don't want to be like right here physically in this moment. And like so tired from today and all the boxes I had to check and all the places I had to go and run around to with like no time to just like sit or even to just like sit and eat. Like everything has to be like multitasking and going. So sometimes it's hard. And it's been just this week really where it kind of came back to me where I'm like, I'm frustrated in the present. I don't like what's happening right now. And I'm not still ruminating over the past, and I'm not necessarily stressing over the future, which sometimes I still do. I'm just in the present. I'm like, I don't like this. I don't want to be here.
Which is even more the reason for you to be in that. And I never thought I'd continually talk about my age, but and I never thought that I would be the person that always says this, but it's fucking true. The moment you accept your present moment is the moment that it leaves. If you're looking to alter it, change it. But you're spending all your energy not wanting.
Yeah.
Instead of all your energy into creating. So it's almost like take all the energy that you're putting into not wanting and put it into creating. Whether that means the moment you start to feel, I'm just going to use this example. The moment you start to feel, I hate this apartment, I don't want to be in this place, I don't like this place, get on Zillow. Not because you're going to do anything about it, but because you're putting that energy into creating. Because if it's not going into creating, then it's just spinning. That's all it's doing. And you're just in mud and your wheels are spinning. And you're smarter than that.
Yeah. Okay.
So get comfortable.
Like the solution is in like the work you're avoiding kind of thing.
Well, I mean, think about it. Just your energy is going into all these places, right? You've got all the checklists, kids, blah, blah, da, 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 da. And on top of that, your energy is also going to how much you hate something and how much you don't want to be in something. But when we're focused on what we don't want, we aren't present. And when we aren't present, we don't have the ability to create the future. If you want to create the future, you have to forgive the present moment and you have to be in it.
Ooh, that's a good line.
That's all I got.
Hold on, we're ready to be in the future.
Hi, Violet. Violet. I love seeing your name. But are we living for fine, or is it just a placeholder for actually? But are we living for? I'm missing what you're asking here, Violet, or Meg? Am I missing it?
So, are we living for fine? Maybe she means like just like settling for fine, or is that just a placeholder for actually feeling better? I think I can kind of relate to what you're saying. Like, there is an element of like I'm grateful, being fine, in the present, but then I'm not going to settle here.
Right.
There's something better. It is technically a placeholder.
But are we living for fine, or is that just a placeholder for actually feeling better? Okay, this is such a good, deep question. So if Meg, if you don't mind, can I take this for a sec? I want to just go to a more intuitive place to answer. The present moment. The present moment is all that is. The present moment is all we have, and it's all that is real. So you can pretend like the present moment doesn't exist by living in the past and living in the future. Or you can choose to accept what is real, which is the present moment. And once you accept that truth, that authentic truth, to go back to the card that was pulled earlier, which is your present moment, because that is all that is authentically true, you can then create from that space. You can't win a marathon if you don't honestly look at where you are in the present moment and say, do I need to train this body? Or can I take this body and go run a marathon? If you think you can go run a marathon without training that body, you aren't living in the present and you aren't being authentically true. And so you're going to go run a marathon, and what's going to happen? You're going to break a leg. You might pass out. You might hurt your heart. You might hurt someone else. And then you're going to go, poor me, what happened? I wanted to run this marathon and I thought I could do it and blah, blah, blah. Well, no, you weren't in the present moment when you made that decision. Because if you were in the present moment, you would say this body needs to be trained. And that's not good, bad, or otherwise. That's just the present moment. Yeah. Are you following?
Yeah.
So your present moment, if your present moment isn't authentically embraced, how can we ever step out of it? I'll give you an example. I'm in a similar situation as Meg, where I'm in this apartment and there's something about this energy that is off. And it's uncomfortable, and we've been here for a year, and every day it's uncomfortable, and on paper it's perfect, but it's off. And so I kept going deeper into the feeling instead of saying, I have to get out, although I did start with that. I have to get out. And then I took my own advice and I just got into this moment. And then I started to understand what I was feeling, where it was coming from, and why. Okay. Didn't take the feeling away. but I got the understanding of what I was feeling and why. So now, okay, I'll live with this. Doesn't change anything, doesn't take the weird feelings away, but I understand it. Now I can build off that because I'm not afraid to live in it because I understand it. Violet, I want a do-over. Meditate, exercise. And why do I say that? Meditate, exercise, get into therapy when you need it. Eat right. Why? Because when you meditate and when you exercise, you're taking care of you. Meditation and exercises requires present behavior. When you exercise, you are present. When you meditate, you are present. When you eat healthy, you are making conscious, healthy choices in the present to fill you. Eating healthy isn't just a thing you're supposed to do just so that you live longer. Eating healthy is you consciously doing something for you. It's self-care. It's you're making yourself present to make a healthy, conscious decision to fill you. That, exercise, meditation, therapy when we need it, journaling, all of that is how you don't worry about the past or the present or past or the future. Do you think about it? Of course. Do you go through periods where you worry? Yes. But you have tools now that help you navigate it. It doesn't, none of this that I teach removes everything, but it helps me navigate. So if there's something really scaring me, I may not be able to get into meditation that moment. I might have to wait till my next morning meditation, but I do it. There is no quick fix.
So it never actually like goes away. Maybe that's the answer, Joanna. Like you never actually stop worrying. Like I teach nursing school students how to kind of conquer their test anxiety, which is a big thing that holds them back. And I have to tell them, you never actually get rid of your test anxiety. It's kind of like a sliding scale. You're not going to just erase it from your body and like remove it like a tumor. It's always going to be there. But if you have different ways to counteract it or redirect it, or even just lower the volume, then you've mastered it. It's never actually going to go away. So maybe the same thing with worrying about the future or reliving the past, but it's more manageable. I've definitely been in situations in this last year where worrying about the future or reliving the past is consuming, where I'm sitting there and I'm not able to function, like do other things besides just sit there and be in that. And that's not functional. If it's affecting my life, it's affecting my day and how I can move in it, if it's affecting how I can care for and love others in my life, that's when it's okay, it's at a 10. It needs to go down to a 2.
You teach your students very similar to when I teach about spirituality, but you teach nursing school in this same approach, because those golden words you used when you said, we're just lowering the volume. Yeah. That's what meditation and exercise and eating right does, is it quiets the volume of the mind so that the spirit can be just a little bit louder. And when the spirit is just a little bit louder, we have intuition to see the way through. When we start to worry, we have this trust that we will be shown the way through, this trust that we will be taken care of. Not because we're just going to sit back and trust, but because we're going to go out and look for that job or look for that house or look for that apartment or do what, consciously put the effort in, and then use the intuition and the trust. And because of the work you do, you'll get to the other side. When you teach nursing school and you say, I'm just helping you lower the volume a bit, you're lowering the volume so these people can pass. Yeah. And the same thing with meditation and exercise and diet. I'm asking you to lower the volume of this and the emotional body So you can not just survive the day, but thrive in that day.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to say it.
But it's all about choices, right? Making the choice.
Yeah, you have to put it in motion. With anything that you want to happen or you want to change in your own psyche in your life, like you have to you want to be in this other place. Okay, you have to take the steps. You have to take action.
And you want to, the goal is to be able to do that without feeling like you're moving through quicksand.
Yes.
And that quicksand is where quicksand can come from a lot of different places. But this card was, I think, a real important one tonight. Channeling the energy.
Yeah.
Whatever that energy is, being able to channel it.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Before I came on here, I had TikTok open and I had just done a class on TikTok. And the next video that had popped up was the girl saying, you need to talk to your future self. You need to call in your future to your present. You need to essentially channel your future self or the next stage and call it into your now. And I was like, oh, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Where you want to be or your future self or your higher self, come meet me where I'm at right now.
It's very well said. Very well said. I think the best way to do that is through soul writing. So writing in a journal what you want your future to look like, and then trusting that it will. Here I go. Let me reference being 52 again. Spending my life writing out what I want and where I want to be. And when you look back, all of that played out. All of it played out. So that stuff works. That bullshit works that people talk about. That weird bullshit spirituality, it actually does something. It's a real thing.
I feel like it used to work for me. I feel like the manifestation and really having a vision, I feel like it used to work so well for me. And I feel like, I don't know what I'm fighting against this year. I've sat down and journaled so many times of this is what I want to call in. This is what I want my next 6 months to look like. And I don't know, maybe my plan is not, or my vision is way off from just the actual path for right now. Or maybe I'm going too fast.
Well, I'm going to answer that.
Joanne. Love that.
So when we are asked to grow and change, we will inevitably hang on to and hold on to who we were. And that person of who we were has these ideas of what they think they want or thought they want. And as you are put in a position that when you're in positions that force you to change. So for example, let's say Meg, you weren't intending a divorce. That wasn't on your schedule. That wasn't something you wanted and you were seeking out before it happened. And so when that happens though, it feels to me like the soul is almost split. And there's this part of you that digs in her heels and is like, no, I said, this is what I want. And I need it to look like this. And then there's this other part of the soul that's like, okay, it's time to change. And so there's this thing happening, right? And it's like, how are you going to open this up so that the soul can come back together and move instead of stay? I said I wanted this, And this thing that you want, you can wanted or can still have, but you have to run the marathon to get to the end. I think it always throws us. We've all been in positions where we had a plan and that plan didn't work. We've all been there on large scales. And I think the key is from experience and from intuition is to see where you're digging your heels in. And I think that's not something that you could come up with tonight. Maybe you could, but I think that's something that is like the last thing that lingers for you. And
Yes.
it's going to come at it like in a dream or in yoga or just at some random time. You're going to be like, oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to happen this week with all this like full moon energy, I'm sure.
Ooh, is that what that's? We should be talking about that full moon energy. Oh my.
Yesterday.
Well, we didn't get to our focus topic, but I don't think we needed to. I think we covered a lot of good
It
stuff.
totally flowed. Yeah. Sometimes it's
Yeah.
just, like intuitive, like let's just
Flow.
also I just needed to like express my feelings.
I'm glad you did. That's why it's called Bring Your Feelings. And I'm glad that Violet brought hers still and that Joanne was here and she brought hers. And I hope you guys come back next Tuesday and bring them again. And we keep talking it out until we start to feel better and you realize you aren't alone in all we all feel all these things, you guys. Like, to think that anyone else is somehow escaping these feelings, they're not. And that was why we wanted to do this, was because no one's escaping this shit. We're all feeling it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Thank you. We enjoyed having you. Good. So, Meg, do you have any closing thoughts for tonight?
Ooh, maybe bringing back, since that article was so on my mind, no more self-silencing.
Mm.
You know,
Oh,
if you're
yes.
going through something, if you're feeling something, no more self-silencing.
Mm-hmm.
We need to vocalize what's not going right, what is going right to each other.
Yeah, that's a pretty powerful article. Maybe, bring us a few more tidbits of it next week for sure. Thank you for always bringing the wisdom and compassion, because even though you're having a hard night, you were still able to step up and help others. So thank you for that. And I hope that was done in a way that was a little more fulfilling than nurse-like.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So,
And thank you for putting this together. Also leading this live. I really appreciate.
of course, well, it's more fun with you, so wouldn't have it any other way. So you guys, tonight before you fall asleep, find 3 things you have to be grateful for and something to thank Spirit for continuing to show you why you're here on this planet during these challenging times. Because you are here for a reason or you wouldn't be here. And remember, good things still happen, even when we're having a hard time. Good things are still out there and they still exist. So we'll leave you with this. Good night, you guys.
Good night.
In the place where I am now, I look back over my life. I look back at the world I've left behind. What message do I want to leave? I want to make sure that you all understand that each and every one of you has a role to play. You may not know it, you may not find it, but your life matters, and you are here for a reason. And I just hope that that reason will become apparent as you live through your life. I want you to know that whether or not you find that role that you're supposed to play, your life does matter, and that every single day you live, you make a difference in the world. And you get to choose the difference that you make. I want you to understand that we are part of the natural world. And even today, where the planet is dark, there still is hope. Don't lose hope. If you lose hope, you become apathetic and do nothing. Above all, I want you to think about the fact that we are part, when we're on planet Earth, we are part of Mother Nature. We depend on Mother Nature for clean air, for water, for food, for clothing, for everything. And as we destroy one ecosystem after another, as we create worse climate change, worse loss of diversity, we have to do everything in our power to make the world a better place for the children alive today and for those that will follow. You have it in your power to make a difference. Don't give up. There is a future for you. Do your best while you're still on this beautiful planet Earth that I look down upon from where I am now.